Thank you. Shri, Kalikesh, Narayan, Singh Deo.
Can I speak from here?
Yes, you may.
Chairman, sir, I rise to speak on the debate on demand of grants for mining. So, mineral wealth of a country can be very effectively used to alleviate poverty, increase the quality of human life, and create wealth for redistribution in the country. However, I fear to say that the Mines Ministry of the Government of India has not been able to do that. The simple mandate of the Mines Ministry is to survey and the exploration of minerals, of mineral wealth in the country, legislation for mine regulation, increase the efficiency and ensure that scientific methods of mining are utilized for sustainable and environment-friendly mining through its agencies of GSI, IBM, MEC, the other agencies that you have. Sir, the simple fact that the contribution of the mining sector to the GDP in India has been a mere 2.52%, as against 16% in Zambia, 19% in Norway, and even 5.6% in Australia, tells us that we have not been able to utilize and maximize the benefits from the mineral wealth of a country. Sir, the government has taken some proactive steps. We have been fighting not only the environment and R&R issues that have plagued the mining sector, we have also been fighting a law, an archaic law which is more than 50 or 60 years old. And I'm happy to note that this government has taken some positive steps to create a new national mineral policy and also to amend the MMRDA Act to try and develop the mining sector in the country. However, sir, the devil lies in the details and the fine prints. And we have to examine the proposed draft of the MMRDA Act to ensure that it's a progressive one and not a regressive one. Let me take the first clause that the government of the current government of India has so categorically professed to be a positive one, which has also been replicated or found place in the address of the President to the Parliament. So the government intends to bring about a legislation which will affect a 26% profit sharing of mining companies with stakeholders. Sir, in this case, we find that the description of profit with mining companies is an absolute gray area. The amount of depreciation because of huge, heavy earth-moving equipment which is used by mining companies is tremendous. And we have seen that consistently companies have tended to not disclose their full profits. So when you go off a percentage of the profit sharing, then how will you actually ensure that that money goes down, a fair amount of money actually goes down to the stakeholders? Secondly, sir, I believe that the Planning Commission has also asked the government to redraft the legislation, offering the affected people 26% of the royalty as compensation and not the profit. So in this matter, may I state that the government of Odisha, and not only the government of Odisha, but all mineral-bearing state governments have been requesting for an increase in the ad valorem royalty. You have increased it to 10%, sir, but let's be clear. 2003, the prices of iron ore were $9, where it was used to plug holes in roads. Today, it stands at maybe $900 or, I don't know, $1,000, $1,500 or $2,000. The windfall gain of mining companies is tremendous. The cost of mining more or less remains the same. We should consider, at least in the interim, increased in the ad valorem royalty to at least 20% and ensure that part of that money goes to stakeholders, which are tribals or other communities which are directly affected by the mining activities. So secondly, the efficiency of the mining department can be judged by the efficiency of its institutions. Let me look at first, sir, IBM, Indian Bureau of Mines. I understand, sir, that as per the Mineral Conservation Development Rule of 1988, the IBM is absolutely and wholly responsible for the mining plan of a mine and monitoring the mining activities thereafter. So then if that is true, isn't the IBM and therefore the Government of India absolutely responsible for the illegal mining activities which have been demonstrated in the which have been demonstrated by the members of the House? Why blame one state government or another state government? It is a matter which transcends all mineral-bearing states, and we have to take a holistic view on it. Sir, the IBM currently has no interaction with the state government. There is no way the government, any state government can actually influence the IBM or impact the workings of the IBM. I would suggest that, of course, you would, of course, in your reply say that under the MMRDA Act, under Clause 4, there is also an element of responsibility of the state government. I would suggest have a working committee of the central government and state governments to look at this matter. This matter is not about inefficiency of one political party or another. It's a matter of a loot of our national resources, resources which can eventually be used to better the life of our countrymen. Sir, the other reason why mining activities have failed to really take off in our country, and it's evident, sir, because the poorest states of our country are the richest in minerals. And another reason why we have actually failed to take off is the fact that there is no infrastructure created to ensure that scientific mining actually takes place. I would suggest let the Mines Ministry take the initiative and work with the Ministry of Railways, work with Ministry of Surface Transport, work with National Highways to ensure that proper infrastructure takes place and mining activities do not hinder the lives of existing villagers in and around that area. So now let me come to the most important point, the manner in which mines should be allotted. So the old MMRDA Act envisions a first come, first served basis for allotment of mine. Let me also state, sir, 2 seconds, sir. Let me also state, sir, the first come, first served basis is the same principle applied by the Telecom Ministry when they gave out spectrum. Now, I understand in some cases where reconnaissance is required, where investment is required to uncover, unearth new areas, new mineral-bearing areas, and this may be the condition laid out. And I absolutely agree. There should be, in those cases when RNP is given out, where huge capital investment is done to discover new mineral wealth, that first come, first served basis should be applied, and there should be a seamless transition from a RP to a PL to ultimately a mining license. But where? And now, sir, these are not the 1800s or 1900s we're talking about. We are in the 21st century. Most people know where iron ore is. A large part of the work has actually been done by the GSI and by other institutions. And we know, even by word of mouth, in which forest, in which village, what mineral is being found. So here I suggest, sir, that you take up the principle of bidding, competitive bidding, something which I believe the Honorable Finance Minister also made a mention of in his budget speech on the 28th February by saying that he wants to develop a competitive system for exploiting natural resources. And I would suggest, I would reiterate, sir, that here we take competitive bidding with the clause that value addition must come first. Sir, let us be very clear. In a state which is poor, or in an area which is poor, if a company decides to put up a plant and give jobs to thousands and thousands of people, that act must be given priority over somebody who wants to just exploit the natural resources and make windfall profits for themselves. So one question I do want to ask on the Honourable Minister, that out of the normal response of the ministry is that we are short of staff. We are short of trained personnel. Therefore, mining activity is unscientific and unregulated, and therefore there is so much exploitation, both of the nature and of human capital. Sir, if we are so short of staff, then why is it that we have only one branch of the Indian School of Mines? I mean, the CII themselves have said that there's a shortage of over 10,000 people in the industry, a projected shortage of about 8,500 mining engineers. Then why is it that we cannot create... Please. 2 seconds, sir. Why is it that we cannot create more branches of the Indian School of Mines? I propose that the Honourable Minister consider putting one branch in every mineral-bearing state of the country. And lastly, sir, the GSI, amongst the 42 studies that it has done 2 very crucial studies on glaciers in the outcome budget, which is mentioned by the Honourable, by the Ministry. One is the detailed glaciological study on Hamta Glacier in Chandra, and the other is a GSI was inducted in the Arctic Expedition of National Center for Antarctic and Ocean Research, NCAOR. And these are studies which are very crucial for the climate change effect on the country. I was wondering whether there have been any follow-up action on these studies. These 42 studies done by the GSI, have they just passed it on to the relevant ministries? And has there been an action taken report at all? I hope the Honourable Minister clears it. Thank you.
Ganesh Rao Dudhonkar.